Hello, everyone, and welcome to this demo series on ChatGPT. And I will be very specific on how ChatGPT can be used by bid and proposal managers for their regular job. And in each episode, I will take one use case and show you. I hope this series is helpful for all bid and proposal managers and they can leverage AI tools to help themselves in their regular work and help their companies in growing their business. Thank you. So let's get going and see in every episode how ChatGPT can be leveraged by bid and proposal managers. Thank you. In this demo, we will see how to use ChatGPT as a research assistant. Now, when I say a research assistant specifically, I mean how can we use as a bid manager or as a proposal manager or even as a business development professional, how we can use chat gpt to do a very sort of a generic research or even a specific research. Now let me for this context use a specific context. Example, let us assume a scenario that we have received a draft RFP. The RFP has not yet been released. We have received a draft RFP and we want to do a research on this draft RFP. Possibly we have not been doing any sort of capture management, or we have not been engaged into capture management for this RFP, but we have received this RFP and it seems that this RFP is from a existing client or even a new client, but again, something which we are some services which is in our sweet spot. So I have taken for the sake of an example, I have taken a RFP, a simple RFP, draft RFP, which is here. You can see in this RFP, it's a RFP available in the public domain, which I have taken. And I have taken the liberty of just tuning it to some extent, just in terms of the dates, because the dates were old. So I have just updated the dates. So this is the RFP. It's a real RFP. You can see with every most of the elements which are there, standard elements which are there in a RFP. They're all there here in it. Now, let me tell you one thing, that ChatGPT works on a large training model which has been created by ingestion of content, available content on the internet. But it can also be actually fine-tuned to work on specific content. Now, there are some limitations of tuning ChatGPT on a specific content, specifically when you are using the conversational mode of ChatGPT, but you can customize ChatGPT or basically the language model GPT 3.5 over which ChatGPT works can be fine-tuned for very domain-specific information, for very specific information for your organization. So suppose your organization or you work in a specific domain and you have a large content of that domain. They can be your past proposals, they can be your past RFPs. Programmatically, by using certain other tools like Hummingbird and Open AI's GPT Play, they can be customized, and we are actually working on those, and we have done some real good pilots on those in these areas, and I can share much more information on that later. But for today's context, let us see that this is the RFP you can see here. Okay, so what you need to do is that to provide this RFP, take this RFP into context. Use this RFP as a context over which you want to do the research. What you need to do is that there is some element of pre-work which you need to do, and that's very simple. What you need to do is that convert this RFP into text. into text format. Now, what I have done is that I have converted it into text using some certain open source tools, and you can use even commercial tools like that. And I have converted it into a text file over here. You can see this is a text file over here. So I have created this text file here. And what I do is that, and again, one of the limitations of the chat GPT is that it can work on a limited size of what we call tokens, or you can say them as words. So the optimum token size for chat GPT to remember that context is around 3,000 words. So it is always better that you take break the entire RFP. If you have a large RFP or even a good sized RFP, you break it into logical chunks and try to keep those logical chunks of within the limit of 3,000 words. So let me do one thing. Let me see. I can see that if I take this till the schedule here as one context, and let me create a context within ChatGPT. And to create a context within ChatGPT, you can tell ChatGPT that this is a context on which you are working by simply labeling it as context : and use a quote before you add the context. Okay, and just simply close the quote. Now ChatGPT understands that you see ChatGPT has understood that this is a context which you have provided. Okay, and it has already started summarizing the context for you. Okay, now that's the power of ChatGPT. Now you are making ChatGPT work specifically on the context which you have provided. So you see, this is the context which you had provided, and it has picked up, it has taken this context, and based on this context, it has summarized. Now you can start doing your research, use ChatGPT as your research assistant. Now let us see first, we want to do, suppose we want to do a market research to see who are the possible market players who can be bidding on this opportunity. So let me ask ChatGPT and say, assume you are a bid manager, and the more conversational you are with ChatGPT, the better results you get. So you help ChatGPT to understand what is the context of the question you are asking. What is the objective of the question which you are asking? So here I am asking, I'm making ChatGPT understand that assume you are a bid manager and doing and performing a initial market research on this RFP. Who are the most likely competitors for this opportunity? Now, if you see here, I did not mention what the scope of service is. I have simply tried to make it, a very generic statement. Like I would have asked, like if you have gone with this RFP to your boss, your boss would have asked you, so who do you think are going to be the most likely competitors for this opportunity? So let me ask ChatGPT. Now see here, ChatGPT is giving you not only what you need to do as a for doing the market research, but it is also telling you that okay, the scope of service is for managed print services, and it's telling you that there are such providers like Xerox, HP, and Lexmark, and there can be even regional managed print services who are providing this. It's finding out that it is from the New York area and who are working with government, and There can be local managed print services. So basically, it is telling you that, okay, HP, Xerox, and Lexmark are at a national level. So you still, it may not be giving you very specifically that, yeah, I am expecting these all, but it is giving you a general or a broader sense of what the competition may be. So you now know that the competition may be from large national players. You know that it can be from regional management service providers, and there can be even local management services and even IT service providers. If you say, now, if you want to see that, okay, if I'm going to compete with Xerox and HP, I say, suppose you are a regional player who provide managed services, or you are a local managed service provider, print service provider, and you are going to compete with Xerox and HP or Lexmark. Now, in that case, what are the strengths of Xerox and HP? So you want, and compared to what so you want to do a sort of a SWOT analysis and see that, okay, whether you should even bid for this opportunity or not. So you can ask, like, what are the competitive strengths and advantages of Xerox and HP in providing managed print services? Now it has started giving based on the content. Now this is going beyond the RFP. Now it is going into its larger knowledge base or language model it has, and from there it is finding out the specific information, and it's giving me specifically information related to Xerox. It is giving me specific information related to HP, and it is even comparing both these companies. Okay. So this is one way where you can do a sort of a market research, you can do a competitive research. And let me now see that, okay, if I can do a specific opportunity research. Now, for doing a opportunity research, I need to specifically understand who will be the potential users. The first thing I need to understand is who would be the potential users of this service in this RFP. So let me ask ChatGPT that. Who are the potential users of the services provided in the RFP? Now it is switching the context. Now it is coming back to the RFP. You can see, based on the information provided in the RFP for managed print services, it appears potential users of the county of Erie, New York. So it tells you various departments and offices within the county. So you can do the research on a broader terms, as well as you can do research on the specific context in which you are working. So it says, okay, the county's division and information system is issuing this RFP and will be used to operate. So it's giving you this purpose of this, and will be used by various county departments and offices such as human resources, finance, administration, planning, and development. So it gives you all the possible number or possible user categories or user types in this for who will be using this RFP. Now, once you know those specific user types, maybe you can ask more specific questions to them. So let me ask, like, let me say suppose you want to create a sort of a capture plan and ask specific and generate insights, or ask specific questions based on which you can generate insights. You can capture insights about this opportunity. So let me say, tell ChatGPT, create, as you say, let us assume you are a capture manager and want to create a capture plan, generate questions. And let me be specific over here. Let me say generate open-ended, because we know that if we ask open-ended questions, it's more likely that we will get very more information, which may help us to generate more insights. Okay, generate open-ended questions for county officials to understand, county officials for more insights on the opportunity. Now, I'm not following any specific prompt style. I'm just simply following a very natural language, and that's basically a natural conversation style. And what my experience has been that the more conversational you are, and you don't get fixated by the prompts, like you can see so much of content coming up on in the social media like LinkedIn, where says prompts like this, assume this, do like that, if you are like, those are all good. But what I am experiencing using ChatGPT for last 1.5 month or so, yeah, a little more than that, is that you don't really need to get fixated on the syntax or semantics of the prompt. Don't get fixated with the syntax and semantics of the prompt. Rather, try to be as conversational you can be, and try to experiment. Change the question type, and you will see different results. And it's fun. Trust me, it's fun. Now, see, you have started generating the questions you can ask. Okay, can you describe that? Now, it has not specifically said which county official you need to ask, but it is saying that in general, you can ask these questions. Okay, now, can you describe the current challenges and pain points? How many printers are there? How county's current print and document management policy? So it is now getting more specific to the scope of service. And based on the scope of service, it's trying to get these questions. Now you can use these questions for your when you are having a meeting with the county officials. You can use this meeting. You can pass on these questions to your sales team, that we need these information even before we decide whether you want to bid on this opportunity or not. So basically, you can actually create it, even if it may not give you generate insights specific to that context, but it can give you mechanisms or ways to find out more specific information, which can help you to create better insights about the opportunity. So this is a very simple way by which you can use ChatGPT as in a specific for a specific context, for a specific RFP, for a specific context, and generate, do some market research, do competitive research, do a opportunity research, as well as generate insights from this. I hope this was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next demo. Bye.